Okay. So in the last session, pause. In the last session, we got to know about how to work with inserting records into the database. Good. Now look at this. Okay. Now look at this. Here, I told that we are writing. Okay, we are writing the total code within try and catch blocks. So what I told in the previous session is, for example, if you have some mistake in our query, suppose my query has some mistake, right? Suppose if the query has a mistake, while executing the query, I'll get exception. Okay, already connection is created. Along with the connection, next statement object is also created. But while executing the query, because of a mistake in my query, so suppose I'm getting an exception while executing the query, right? So suppose if there is an exception occurs at line number 31, then I told the remaining statements are not executing try block, right? So if remaining statements are not executed, then what about the statement object and what about the connection object? What about the statement object and what about the connection object? They are not closed. Okay. So that's why in our next example, so we are not going to write the, okay, we are not going to write the try catch only. We are also going to include what block? Finally block we are going to include. Okay. So let's start. Yes, yes. See, our requirement is now, our requirement is okay. So our requirement is we want to, okay, we want to write the code. Okay, we want to write the code. And our code is with the try, catch, and finally blocks. Right? We'll start working with the try, catch, and finally blocks. So today we will write third application. First, before writing the application, we will understand about what example that we are going to discuss. Okay, let's open SQL Plus. This example I'm connecting with Oracle. Okay, for this example, our database is Oracle. But from the next example, our database will be MySQL. So now today, first we want to execute our query. We got some customer records. In the last session, we have inserted totally 5 records with the customer ID 101, with ID 102, with ID 103, 104, and 105. Okay, with 101, 102, 3, 4, 5. How many records we have inserted into the customer table? 5 records we have inserted into the customer table in the last section. That is the last example. Today, we want to write a code to select all these customers from the database. Okay. Our requirement is, today's example is what? We want to select the records from the table. Okay, right. Which means, which command that we want to run from a Java application? Select statement. Okay, first let us understand. First, let us understand about select statement. Is this required or not? I'm checking. Okay, it's not required for me. Done. Look at this. My question is here, guys. My requirement is I want to select the data from the table. Look at this. You know, we have a statement object. If at all I want to execute any queries on the database, which object I am going to use in JDBC? From JDBC API, which object we will use to run the queries? Statement object. Which object we are using? Statement object. Statement object contains 2 methods. I just want to make you to recollect because we discussed in the last week. Execute update is one method. Execute query is another method. Execute update method we can use only for non-select operations. Execute query is a method we use to perform what? Select operation. So today we want to perform a select operation. Okay. Means I'm going to call a method called execute query. Sure, observe it. Which means my query is what? First of all, I want to write my query in a, I want to store the a string, query string in variable. Let's say my query is select star from customer. Okay, this is my query. Now I want to execute this query. So what I'm writing is stmt dot call the method called what? Execute query and pass the query parameter. Good. Now, whenever we call the method execute query, what happens? What this method should return? This method is going to return me a result set object. Okay. I repeat. What object the execute query method will return back? When I call this method produces our results or is going to give me result as a what object? Result set object. Okay. I'll explain. A result set is an interface like a connection, statement, result set. Next, we are going to see today prepared statement, callable statement. These are all what? These are all called as interfaces. These are all called what now? Interfaces. So result set is also what? Interface. It is not a class. It is what? An interface. Tell me, when I call execute query method, what execute query method returns? An object of type result set. Okay, it returns an object of type what? Result set. Okay, again, okay, we can go to understand, we can dig into, we can identify who is that implementation class and all this kind of stuff, but it's not required. It's, if I explain also, that is going to be a useless one. So just understand about execute query is a method. And when you call this method called execute query, what this method returns me? Execute query method returns me a result set object. Execute query is a method which returns what object? Result set object. Result set object. Yes. Okay. Let's identify. Okay. Let's identify what is there in this result set object. See here. Understand. See here. If you execute the query, select star from customer. When execute the query in SQL Plus, you got some output here. The output is containing first column names. Who are the columns? ID column, name column, email column, and phone number column. Because my table has how many columns? 4 columns. 4 columns. ID, name, email, and phone. 4 columns are there. Yes, we are right. Now, what is happening here? Whenever I say execute query method returns a what object? Result set object. Execute query method returns what object? Result set object. What is there in result set object also? In the result set object also, same result will be there. What result that you are getting when you are executing it from SQL Plus? The same result will be there. But this result will be stored in what object now? Result set object. So basically, now I can say that this is the result set object. Assumption, this is a result set object. Okay, I'm drawing it like an object format. This result set object also contains same output. What output will be there in the result set object? What output will be the result set object? First column names are there. Who are the columns? ID, name, email, phone number. Same result will be there. Same result will be there. But this time, this result is stored in what object? Result set object. And what is the name of this object? RS. RS. The name of this object is RS. What's the name of this object now? RS is the name of the object. What is there in this object? Same result will be there. Whatever the result that you got there, same result will be there in the result set object also. In the result set object also. Customer ID is what? If you look at this, what is the customer ID here? 1012345. Okay, customer name John. John at gmail.com. And some phone number is there. Okay. I'm not writing the complete, but I can tell you explanation like this. Tell me, what is the customer ID? 101. Name John. John. Name John. Some email will be there. Some email is there. And also phone number is there. Next 102. James. James email ID, phone number. Phone number. 103. Okay, 103. Some guy. Okay, Jeffrey. Jeffrey Job Jordan. That's a Jeffrey. Okay, his email ID, his phone number. Next 104. Jack. His email ID, his phone number. Next 105. 105. Jordan. Look at this. Jordan. My question is, okay, now my question is, okay, done. Okay, now my question is, now you guys can understand. Okay, you guys can understand. Okay, you guys can understand the same data will also be there in this object now. Yes, the same data will be there in this object also. Okay, this is called what object? Result set object. What's the name of the object? RS. Same data will be there in this object. When you type this query at SQL Plus, or when you are working with MySQL Workbench, if you type a command, whatever the result you are getting, the same result will be there. The same result will be there in what object also? Result set object also. In what object also now? Result set object. Plus. This object also maintains a cursor, and the cursor will be placed by default at before the first record. So this result set object will maintain one cursor, and the cursor will be there before the first record. Not at the first record, before the first record. Okay. Now tell me, where is the cursor now? Cursor is by default available. Cursor is by default available at where? Before the first record. Yes, it is before the first record. Good. Now, tell me, to read the data, I should move the cursor. Where is the cursor by default? By default, it is there always at before the first record. Now I should move the cursor. I should move the cursor to the first record, then second record, then third record. Like that, I need to move up to last record. Up to what record? Last record. Up to last record. Yes. Observe it. There is a method available in result set called next method. There is a method available. There is a method available in the result set. Name of the method is next method. Understand this. Understand this. What is the name of the method? Next. Next. So there is a method available. What is the name of the method? Next. Next method. First understand. This next method. Understand. This next method is going to move the cursor to the next record. This next method will move the cursor to the next record. Okay, understand clearly. After moving the cursor there, it will check whether record exists or not. If a record exists, returns true. If record not exists, returns false. Boolean value. Okay. Tell me, where is the cursor by default? Before the first record. This is a cursor. It is a cursor. It is by default available before the first record. Tell me which method I should call to check whether next record exists or not in the result set. Call the next method. What next method will first do? It will first move the cursor to the next record of the cursor and verifies record exists there or not. Okay. Then tell me, when I call the first time next method, tell me next record exists or not? Yes. Now tell me, where is the cursor moved? Now the cursor is moved. I'll remove this. The cursor is moved to 101. Initially, where is by default? Before 101. By default, it is before 101. Now tell me, where is the cursor is moved? Now the cursor is moved to the record 101. Now the cursor is moved to the record 101. 101. Good. Tell me. Now in this row. Okay, this is the next row, right? In this row. First column is what? ID of the customer. Second column, name. Third, email. Lastly, phone number. ID is a what type of value? Number, integer. Name is a string. Email is also string type. Phone is also string type. Sorry. We took in the database as big int. Okay, I mean this is a number of 10. Good. There are methods available. Okay. There are methods available. Call getInt of one. Call which method? GetInt of one. One means column index. Tell me, it reads integer value from first column. Reads integer value from first column. Okay, next I'm writing. Get string of 2. Reads string value from second column. Get string of 3. Reads string value from third column. GetInt of 4. Reads integer value from fourth column. 1, 2, 3, 4 are what here? Column index. Okay, tell me. First column contains what? Customer ID. Customer ID is not integer. So what is the method I'm calling? GetInt. Second column is name. Name is a string. Get string. Third column is email. Email is a string. Fourth column is phone number. What I'm calling integer. GetInt. Then tell me, by calling getInt, getString, then getInt. Tell me, I can get the, or I can read the values of this record now? Yes. After that, again I should move the cursor from where to where? From record 1 to, from this record to next record. Tell me, which method I should call first? Next method. When I call the next method, what the next method will do? First, it will move the cursor. First, it will move the cursor to the next record. Okay, it will move the cursor to the next record. Then it checks what record exists or not. Tell me, record is there? Yes, record is there. Returns true. Returns what? True. Then tell me how to read the first column of the record. GetInt of 1. How to read the second column of the record? GetString of 2. How to read the value from third column of the record? GetString of 3. And how to read the fourth column of the record, guys? GetInt of 4. Okay, good. This record is completed. How to read the next record again? Again call the next method. Where is cursor by default? Before. Okay. Now before 103. I mean it is there at 102. Now when I call the next method, where does control go? Where does the cursor is moved to? Okay. Next. When I call the next method, the cursor is moved to 103. After moving the cursor, what cursor will check? Next, the record exists here or not? Yes, record is existed here. Then tell me how to read the first column value again. GetInt. Second column, getString. Third column value, getString. Fourth column value, getInt. I should call getInt, getString, getInt like this. Okay, good. My question to you. Let's say, for example, the cursor is now at last record. Tell me, the cursor is now currently available at which record now? Last record. So cursor is available at last record now. Do you know how to mute? Okay, done. Okay, right. Mute unmute options తెలుసు కదా, అది కూడా తెలియదా? తెలుసా? మ్యూట్ చేయటం, అన్మ్యూట్ చేయటం ఉందా? నాలెడ్జ్ ఉందా? గుడ్. Now, where is cursor? Cursor is currently available at where? Okay, last record 105. Last record. Very good. Come to the point here. Okay, tell me how to read the first column value of the last record. GetInt of 1. Okay, next name, getString of 2. Email, getString of 3. Phone number, getInt of 4. Now, again when I say rs.next, the cursor will go to next record. Now tell me, do we have any next record after this? Do we have any record here? We don't have any record here. We don't have a record here. There is no record here. If no record is there, what next method returns? False. Next method returns what? False. If returns false, then what we can understand? There are no more records to read, come out of the loop. Then we should write a while loop now. Whatever we should write, while loop. Why not for loop? Exactly, you are right. Okay, when to use for loop? When to use for loop and when to use while loop? Yeah, guys, when to use for loop and when to use while loop? If you know exactly how many times to iterate the loop, then you can go for loop. If you don't know how to or how many times to iterate the loop, then go for what? While loop. While loop. Are you able to get my point? Right. Okay. Understand here. Understand here. Okay. Okay. Before going to eat, for example, before going to eat lunch, how many times you are going to wash your hands? No washing. Before going to eat the lunch, how many times you'll wash your hands? Is my question. Huh? One time? Very good. Good answer. Correct. ఎన్నిసార్లు హ్యాండ్స్ వాష్ అది కూడా తెలియదా రామ రామ గుడ్ ఓకే వన్ టైమ్ టూ టైమ్స్ అని లెక్క ఉండదు దానికి we don't count one time or two times. For example, I wash my hands but still my hands are dirty. I need to wash again. For example, second time also wash but still there is some dust or it's not clean. We'll wash again. Means what? Until hands are clean. Until hands are clean. But how many times? Maybe first time only may be clean. Or maybe after second time wash may be clean. Or maybe after 4-5 times sometimes it will be clean. Am I right or not? But so do you know or do you don't know? We don't know. While loop. That's called while loop. If you know, that is for loop. If you know how many iterations, use for loop. If you don't know, use while loop. While loop. Come to the point here. Yes. Yes. Come to the point here. Now, we want to go ahead to write a loop here. Look at this, guys. Folks in online, try to understand this. Come to the point here. While. See the loop. See the loop. While rs dot next. Another way of writing, while rs dot next is equal to true. See, what is rs? Result set object. I told there is a method available in result set called what? Next method. What next method will give you? Boolean value, either true or false. First it will move the cursor and check whether record exists or not. If record exists, returns true. Otherwise returns false. If it is true, what to do then? If for example, next is returning true. True means yes, there is a record. Yes, there is a record means get the data. How to get the data from column 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes. Yes, you're right. System.out.println. What do you write? rs dot get int of 1. We'll read the value from first column. Column index 1. Column index 1 means first column. First column is what? ID. ID is a integer. What if I don't know? What if I don't know that whether it is an integer? I didn't remember that. I didn't remember whether it is an integer or whether it is a string. I have not remembered that. If I don't know, then how can I get the value? You have common method called getString. What's the common method? getString. getString is very common. Whether it could be integer or could be string or could be decimal point value, or could be date value, any type of the value. Simply, which method you can call? Get string of 1. Get string is common method. If you know exactly, you can use it. Get int of 1. Get string of 2. Okay, like this, you can write a big statement. Okay, I'm not writing simply, you can write a big statement like that. Okay, now, so far, our requirement is what? Today, our example is, we want to execute what operation on the database? Select operation. My Java program wants to select the data from which table? Customer table. Then tell me to select the data from customer table. Which method I should call? Execute query. Execute query is a method which returns what object? Result set object. By default, result set object will maintain one cursor. And that cursor is by default positioned at where? Before the first record. Not at the first record, but before the first record. It maintains a cursor, and the cursor is by default available at before the first record. Then tell me how to move the cursor to the next records? By calling the next method. Next method. What this method returns me? Boolean value. What the Boolean value can return? Either true or false. True or false. Very good. True or false. Next method can return me a Boolean value. That Boolean value could be either true or false. True indicates what? True indicates that next record is available there. The record is available. The record is available. Then how to get the values of the records from column 1, 2, 3, 4? By calling these methods. By calling these methods. Yeah, we call them as getX methods. In shortcut, we call them as getX methods. By calling getX methods. Hope you are getting my point. By calling getX methods. Suppose if you don't have an idea that first column is an integer and fourth column is integer, second column and third columns are string types. If you don't have that idea, then which method you can call directly? GetString method you can call. What's the common method? GetString is common method. You can call directly GetString method. Am I clear with that? Very good. Once the loop is completed, then do we need this object or no need of this object? No need. Because I collected the data already. After collecting the data from this object, then this object is no more required. If the object is no more required, then tell me we are going to close it. How can we close this result set object? rs.close. rs.close. So if you write rs.close, the object will be closed. Okay, means this object will be given for garbage collection. Are you able to follow me? Yes. Good. So our next program is today. We want to write a code for what purpose? To select the data from table. Let's start working with this. Okay. We want to. Yeah. Yes, you are right. We are going to work with coding part. See, today I am creating one new Java project. And the new Java project is JDBC application 3. Now let us click on finish. Okay, let us click on finish. Come back to the point. First, I want to create one new package. com.example. Okay, now tell me here, I want to create a new class. And in this class, we want to insert the record or we want to retrieve the records? We want to retrieve the records. So I want to write a program name as fetch records. Fetch records. Okay. Now here we are going to start writing coding part. Look at this. Look at this. We'll do one thing because I want to try, catch, finally blocks also. I want to add a try, catch, and finally blocks. Look at this. Okay, let's start working with this code. Okay, I'm just going to call the second method. Retrieve records. Of table name customer. So tell me what this method will do. It will retrieve the records of which table? Customer table. Okay, let's start creating this method. Let's start creating this method. Okay. Look at this. First, I am taking one variable called connection. A reference variable CONN. I am passing the value null. Okay. Next, I am also creating statement object. A reference variable name STMT equal to what I am passing? Null. Null. Okay. Connection con equals to null. Statement STMT equal to null. Now, tell me, import the statement. Now, I want to start working with try block. Now, I want to start working with which block now? Try block. Tell me, in the try block, first we need to loading the driver is compulsory or optional? Optional. I told we are working with standalone application. Second, we are working with Java 17, Java 21 now. So from Java 8 version, loading the driver is optional. So directly we can open the connection. Yes, observe here. CONN equal to driver manager dot get connection. I'll do one thing. What I will do is, first I'll take three variables. One variable name database URL. Okay, so tell me what is the database URL? JDBC colon Oracle colon thing colon @localhost colon 1521 colon XE. This is called what URL? Database URL. Next, username. In a variable system. Then I want to take password, which is tiger. Now tell me, how many parameters I should provide here? Three parameters. Database URL, username, then password. Okay. Look at this. Understand this clearly. Okay, good. My question, what happens if I write at line number 22, if I write again, connection, CONN? You are right. Yes. See, why I am getting an error at line number 22? Because already we have declared. Okay, we have already declared a variable called what? Connection, and we have initialized it with a null value. We declared this as what type of variable? Connection variable. Again, you are redeclaring the variable. Okay, then tell me, can you create the same variable? Can you declare the same variable 2 times? No. No. If you declare the same variable 2 times, you will get error. Okay, right. How many times you can declare the variable? 1 time only. 1 time only. Suppose I'm asking a question like this. I am asking a question like this. See, I am writing one variable called int a. I am writing another variable called WA. Can I do that? First one is int a. Second statement, WA. Can I declare the same variable a first as integer then as double? Can I do like this? Will it accept or does not accept? Does not accept. This is error. It is not allowed. Very good. Listen. Suppose I'm writing in this way. Guys, I'm writing int x is equal to 10. Again, int x is equal to 40. Accepted or not accepted? Not accepted. Why not accepted? Because already your x variable is declared. Again, you are redeclaring. Can you redeclare the same variable? No. Answer is error. Error. Similarly, tell me in line number 15, what happened here? We have declared that CONN is a connection variable. Again, you are declaring the same variable CONN as what? Connection. Will it allow or will not allow? Will not allow. That's why we are getting error at line number 22. You got error there? Yes. So I'll remove this. Next statement. Okay. Tell me, connection is created. SOP statements. If you want, you can write. That's up to you. Okay. I'm not writing SOP. Connection is created. Okay. If you want, I'll write SOP. What is created? Connection is created. Okay, good. Connection is created, but I'm writing by using some pattern. Connection is created. Connection is created. Okay. So this is called one ANSI pattern we use to display the SOP statements in different colors. Okay. 31 is a code, indicates red color. So this message I will get in red color. Nothing is there. You can see that. This message I'm going to get in red color on the console. Nothing more. Okay. Some change I did. Nothing is there. Next. Okay. Tell me. After getting the connection, or the next step? Statement. STMT is equal to what I can write? Connection dot create statement. Create statement. SOP. Okay. SOP /U001B in uppercase 34 M plus statement is created, or statement object is created. So this will give you output in blue color. Okay, right. Good. Tell me. Okay, tell me. First statement is what? Connection is created. Next what? Statement object is created. Okay, statement object is created. Now, result set RS is equal to STMT dot execute query. My query is what? Select star from customer. Okay, right. But where is the cursor by default? Before the first record. Okay, now I'm writing system.out.println. System.out.println. I am writing a message saying that records of customer table. Records of customer table. Actually, table name I am providing as a parameter here. So I can say select star from table. What the value in table? What the value in this parameter? This parameter contains what the value? Customer. Customer is a value stored into this variable called table. Now what's the table name? Customer. Select star from table. What's the table name? Customer. Okay, good. Records of customer table. Or records of the table. Tell me. Records of the table plus table. Enough. Just I want to estimate records of the table name customer. Very good. Now tell me, okay, now tell me, by default, where is cursor in the result set object? Before the first record. What is our requirement? What is our requirement? Cursor is there before the first record. What is our requirement? We should move the cursor. How many times we should move the cursor? After all the records are done. So then for that, what type of loop is required? While loop is required. So what is my next? While, what should I write? RS dot next. Equal to true, both are same. While RS dot next means it's going to be true, right? Suppose if it is false, loop is terminated. So what is optional? Writing equal to true is compulsory or optional? Optional. Okay, I got the while loop now. Now system.out.println RS dot get int of column index 1 space. I want to give some space. Next, RS dot get string of 2. This is for what? Name. Next one, RS dot get string of 3 for what? Email. Plus RS dot get int of 4. This is for what? Right, phone number. Then I say RS dot close. Then I say what? RS dot closed. Very good. RS dot closed. See, understand clearly. RS object is created in try block only, na? So RS object we are also closing in try block only. But if we declared connection and we declared statement, both are outside the try block. Yes. Okay. What I will do now for a try block, we want to define a catch block. Okay. And suppose if there is any exception, to display this exception, I am writing what? System.out.println of ex. Next. Which block I am writing next? Finally block. Try block. For try block, we defined what block? Catch block. Next, which block we are writing? Finally block we are writing. Finally block we are writing. Tell me, in finally block, what I want to do? Connection. In finally block, I should close the connection. Before closing connection, it is recommended to close the statement object. Okay, I repeat. Tell me, in which block I want to close the statement and connection? I want to close the statement object and I want to close the connection object. In which block here? Finally block. Okay, why should I write them in finally block? Then they are not closed. Suppose you are writing connection statement closed in try block. What happens in the middle of the try block if exception occurs? Then connection will not be closed. But our requirement is what? Okay, whether exception occur or does not occur, but definitely we must close a connection with the database. We should reduce a burden on the database. Otherwise, still the connection is open in database. So we have to close it. So where should I close it? In finally block, I should close it. Let's start working with writing finally block. Okay. In finally block, okay. So my next question, in finally block, okay, in finally block, can I try block again? In finally block, can I write the try block again? I know try block, I know cache block, I know finally block. My next question is what? In finally block, again I wanted try block, again I wanted cache block. So can I write try block again in the finally block? Can't we write like that? Oh, we can write. Answer is yes, we can write. Okay, it's possible to write. Yeah, learn it, no problem, learn it. So what I'm saying, we can write try block in finally block also. Try block we can write again in finally block also. Try block we can again write in try block also. Okay, that is called nested try blocks. Yes, you know that. You know that. Try, please understand. Try, understand it. Try. Look at this. What and what objects I want to close here? I want to close the connection object and I want to close the statement object. First, I want to close the statement object. First, I want to close the statement. Do you have any order? First, I should close the connection, then statement, or statement, then connection. No, we can close any order. I can close connection first, statement next, or I can close statement first, connection next. Okay. Okay. Observe here. Observe here. stmt dot close. conn dot close. Okay. I have a question to you. I have a question to you. Tell me what type of exception you are expecting while closing the connection or while closing the statement. What type of exception you are expecting when we are closing the statement object or when we are closing the connection object. What type of exception you are expecting? Online people, you write your answer in chat box. What type of exception you are going to expect in the try block within finally? Okay, online people, I am repeating my statement again. You have to give me the response in chat box. I am asking what type of exception that you are expecting in the try block within finally block. Exactly. SQL exception may not be because connections are still open if open. Not class, not fun. Null pointer mostly. Tell me. Look at this, I'll tell you. Just observe it. Tell me what is the default value that we are assigned to the connection variable? Null. Null. Very good. Tell me currently this variable contains how much value? Null. When I go to line number 23, driver manager dot get connection. We are providing how many parameters? 3. The first parameter is what? Database URL. Second one is what? Username. And third one is what? Password. Suppose I did some mistake in the URL. Suppose while typing thing, I forgot to write I. For example, I forgot to write the letter I. Then tell me, is a database URL is it valid or invalid? It's a wrong URL. Then tell me connection is opened or not opened? Not open. Some exception will be thrown. Exception will be thrown. Suppose if exception thrown at line number 23, immediately the control will jump to cache block. Na? From line number 23, the control jumps to which block? Cache block. What cache block will display? The exception details. Exception will display. After cache block, next which block will be executed? Finally block. Tell me, when executing finally block, what is the current value in STMT? Null. You're right. What is the current value in STMT? Null. What is the current value in CONN? Null. Null dot close. What exception will be thrown? Null pointer exception. CONN dot close. What is the value of CONN? Null. Null dot close. Close what exception? Null pointer exception. So there is a chance of getting what exception? Null pointer exception. Okay. If I want to avoid null pointer exception, I can do one thing. That's why this is not the correct way of writing the code. What should I write? If STMT not equals to null. When should I close? I should close if a statement object does not contain null. If CONN not equals to null, then only close. So when should I close a statement? I should close a statement object if it does not contain null. I should close the connection object if it does not contain null. If it contains null value, do you need to close it or no need to close it? No need to close because they are already containing null values. Yes. Yes. There is no statement, there is no connection. Hope you are understanding my point. Very good. Good. Online people, I can't read your names, but can you tell me, did you guys have understood this? Folks in online, did you guys understood about why we are writing the code like this? Yes, observe here. Understand here. Tell me once again, tell me what's the default, what is the initial value of connection variable? Null. What is the initial value of statement variable? Null. Now, at line number 23, we are going to create a connection, but URL is wrong, or maybe password is wrong, or maybe username is wrong. Tell me if URL is wrong, or username is wrong, or password is wrong. Then tell me what will be thrown at line number 23? Exception. Exception. Tell me if exception occurs at line number 23, from line number 23, the control goes to which block? Cache block. Cache block. Okay. After cache block executed, next where does control go? Finally block. Finally block. After cache block, the control goes to final block. Listen, online people, some of you guys said no, I'm re-explaining the point. Yes. Okay. Finally block. Observe here. In finally block, control goes to final block. Listen here. Finally block. Observe here. When I should close a statement? When should I close a statement object? When should I close a connection object? If the statement object is created, then I have to close. So connection is created, then I have to close. If they have not created, then I don't need to close them. That's what my two conditions are. If STMT not equal to null means what? Statement object created. Created means closing. Connection not equal to null means what? Connection is created. If it is created, you have to close. That's it. Yeah. Try block. I'll come to the point. Yeah, we have that. I'm not written cache block. I'll explain it. I am on the way. See, next, listen to me. Got your question, but it's my next explanation. Because only try I have complete, not catch. Catch. Exception EX. System.out.println of EX. Good. Come to the point here. See, everybody understand this. Understand this. My question is, there is no error. It is thin. So I have no problem. Assume that I have no problem with the URL. I have no problem with the username. I have no problem with the password. All are correct. Then tell me, connection is created. Obvious statement is created next after that. Good. Both are created. Good. Now, result.object is created. I got the output also. Where does control jump after that? From try block. Next, where does control jump? To the finally block. Now listen here. Exactly at the same time, when the control is going from try block to the finally block in your code, due to some problem, the database is crashed. We can expect that exactly at the same time, when just finally block is about to execute, because of some external problem, database server is crashed. Tell me, if the database server is crashed, can you close the connection? No. Can you close a statement? Statement we can close because statement is completely available in JVM. But connection you cannot close. Why can't I close the connection? Because if I want to close a connection with the database server must be live. But currently what happened? It is crashed. Server is not ready, crashed. Server unavailable. Now then this con.close statement will throw SQL exception. What exception? SQL exception. Then tell me to handle this exception, I should keep my code in what blocks? Try and catch blocks. Then tell me why I'm writing these try catch blocks to handle the null pointer exception or to handle the SQL exception? To handle the SQL exception, not to handle the null pointer exception. Because we know that null pointer exception does not occur. Because already we have written if condition. Hope I'm clear with you now. Yes. People in online try to understand this. Why I'm writing try and catch blocks again in the finally block. Yes. Good. Tell me, instead of blindly writing yes exception EX superclass name, tell me what is the other exception I can type here? SQL exception. I can write like that also. SQL exception, so that the code is clear for you. Right. We are done with this code. If the statement connection everything is done successfully, then I want the SOP statement with some different color. Okay, the different color connection is closed. Are you able to follow me now? Right. I repeat once again. So if, for example, these two statements are executed successfully, the next statement will also execute now. The next statement will print what? Connection is closed. Connection is closed. So we are done with this program now. Can I run this program now? No. We have to add the driver jar file. Yes. So we can't run this program now. If I run this program, definitely we are going to get the exception again. Because we must add the class path. What we must add? Class path. Okay. Which driver? OJDBC Oracle driver means OJDBC jar file. Tell me how to add to the class path. How can we add it to the class path? Right click on the project name, build path. Then you have an option called configure build path, libraries and class path. That's it. Add external jars. Which jar file? OJDBC 11. OJDBC 11. Open this, apply. Done. We are done. We can run this. Run as a Java application. Run as a Java application. Tell me, I got exception. Okay. See, connection is created. Statement object is created. Why I am writing /u001b31 32 like that to get the output in different colors. SOP statements in different colors. 31 is a code for red. Okay. 34 is for blue. Okay. 32 is for green. Some colors. 35 is for purple. Okay. From 31 to 35, I think 36. 4 or 5 codes are there. Okay. You can check it later. Okay. What exception I got? SQL exception. What overflow? Numeric overflow. If I want to get complete details of the exception, I am not understanding it. I want complete details. If I want to get the complete details of the exception, then which method I should call? Print stack trace. Print stack trace. Okay. Now see complete details of the exception. Now we can see that I got complete details of the exception. Okay, right? I got complete details, right? Okay, right. SQL exception, numeric overflow. I am calling getInt method. Which method I am calling? GetInt method I am calling. Phone number. Phone number is a number of 10. Number of 10 is long type in Java. But tell me which method I have called here? GetInt. That's why I'm getting exception. Then tell me, I can change to what? Get long. Or the common method? Get string. If I call all get string, see the first one, the second column, third column, fourth column, all I'm calling which method? Get string. rs dot get string of 1, get string of 2, get string of 3, lastly get string of 4. Then tell me, will I get any problem now? No. Now I got the records. Okay, I got the records of customer table 101, 102, 103, 4, and 5. This is the name. This is email ID. These are the phone numbers. Okay, then connection is closed. Done. We are done. We are done with this program. Now everybody in online and offline, what you guys need to do now, you are going to write the program completely now. And I'm going to wait for 5 to 10 minutes until you complete the code. So the program is now, you write a program. Okay. You write a program to delete the records from table whose name contains letter A. Delete records from table customer whose name contains a letter A. Okay, start writing now. Start writing the program for this. Program means what you should start? You should start from connection. Main method, class, these are not required for me. But just start from connection. Connection, statement, then execute the command. Okay, then close the connection, write a try block, catch block, then finally block. Okay, right. Start writing this code now. Start writing this code. Online people. Online folks. I want to delete records from a table customer, records from a table customer whose name contains a letter A. Fast. Make it fast, guys. See, there is a lot of difference between telling the answer orally and putting the same on the paper, right? While putting the code on the paper, everything is a doubt. Okay, double quotes is a doubt, semicolon is a doubt, equal to symbol is a doubt. Okay, that's why you should practice now so that you can crack an interview. Online people, online people, start writing this code, starting from try block, starting from try block. Yes, everyone, start writing code for this. You guys can start writing the code for this. I want to delete the records from table customer whose name contains a letter A. Okay, start writing from connection. Okay, first try to write the URL, username, password correctly without mistakes. Okay, right? Writing that URL, writing that username, writing that password, writing that comma, writing the double quotes. So these are all will play an important role. Okay, right, good. Okay, because many students are good with telling the answer orally, but if you ask to write the code, a small program also is going to contain many mistakes. So you have to practice coding only. Okay, as a developer, you should write the code only in the real time. Okay, that's why everyone try to do it. I want try block, I want cache block, I want finally block. Again, inside the finally block, I want to add again try block and cache block, like the last program, like the last example, like the last example. ఆ query execute అవ్వదు. Your query is 100% wrong. Yes, right. Batteries అయిపోయింది. Batteries అయిపోయినాయి. Guys, ah, guys, what about the code now? Delete records from table customer whose name contains a letter A. Suppose if this is a question or the program if I'm asking, then observe here. I'm writing only the second method. I am only writing the second method. Tell me, before my try block starts, I'm going to create connection con is equal to null. Then I'm going to create what? Statement SCMT is equal to null. Okay, good. Listen here. Then, okay, then I started writing the try block. Then I started writing the try block. Try block starts. Okay. Now you tell me, I have three variables. Who are the three variables? Database URL. Database URL is equal to something. You know that URL. Username. And then password. Tiger. Please understand. So tell me, we got the database URL, username, and password now. Tell me how to create the connection, guys. How can I create the connection, guys? CONN is equal to driver manager dot get connection. I'm writing a shortcut get connection. We can provide the first parameter URL, username, password. Okay, we are done. Then statement object is what? SCMT is equal to connection dot create statement. It's a method which can create a statement object. Tell me, query. Directly, first I want to store query in a variable so that it will be easy. Tell me, first I want to keep my query in a variable. You told some query, right? Tell me the query now. No select. Why select? I'm asking about delete. Yes. Tell me, delete star from. For a delete command, we don't have star. No star allowed in delete. Delete from customer. Okay, where? Name, like. Exactly. Percentage, capital A, percentage. This is command. This is command. We have to use like operator. What operator? Like operator. Good. Tell me, STMT dot execute query or update? Execute query method or execute update method? Update method, because it is not a select. It is not select. That's why execute update. That's why execute update of query. But you know what execute update method returns? Affected in the database. You're right. Not result set. Okay. Which method returns result set object? Execute query. Execute query method returns what object? Result set object. Tell me. Execute update method returns what? Integer, which indicates what? Number of rows affected in the database. Number of rows affected in the database. Let's say, for example, I'm taking count is equal to. Then I'll say SOP, the number of rows deleted is equal to the number of rows deleted is equal to plus count. Am I clear with this? Yes. Then tell me, for try block, we can define what block? Catch. Exception. How can I display this exception? Print stack trace, otherwise SOP statement. You can do anything of your choice. Print stack trace. Tell me, after try block, catch block, next block is what? Which block I want right next? Yes, I want right the finally block. I want right the finally block. Tell me, again in the finally block, I want write what block next? Again the final block, I wanted one more block. Now which block I want write next? Okay, just I'm explaining here. I know that it's overlapping, no problem, but I want to explain here. Tell me, finally, again try. For this condition, if stmt not equals to null, then I should close. How to close it? stmt dot close. Similarly, if connection conn not equals to null, then I should close. How to close it? conn dot close. Then tell me, for try block, I should define what? Catch. This catch is to catch which exception? SQL exception. SOP of EX. So this is the code. This is the code that we are going to write. This is a code that we are going to write. Okay, it is overlapping. Just a minute. But it is done. Okay, no problem. Leave it. Okay, leave it. But look at this. Look at this. Everyone, look at this. Done. Actually, it's overlapping, but still you can understand. Okay. Okay. Observe it. Observe it. So tell me. Okay. This code is for deleting the records from the table whose name contains letter A. With the letter A, for example, if 4 records are there. According to our example, James contains A. Okay. John contains no A. But Jack contains letter A. Okay. Jeffrey, no A. Jordan, A. How many records will be deleted by, if I run this code in our system? 3 records will be deleted. Who are the 3? James, Jack, Jordan. 3 records will be deleted. Okay? Right. You try this program and execute it. We'll stop the session for here today. And tomorrow we will continue. Okay, tomorrow we will continue with the prepared statement. Tomorrow we are going to see one more type of statement is there in JDBC, that is called prepared statement. Okay, tomorrow we will see how to use which statement? Prepared statement. Okay, I can use any database, Oracle or MySQL. So from tomorrow, I am going to use my database as MySQL. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to use database as what? MySQL. And which statement I am going to talk about? Prepared statement. Okay, tomorrow we'll look into this. Thank you, folks. Online people, if you have any query, please let me know. Okay, you can unmute yourself. You got the option. You got the option. You guys can do it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, sir, in which cases result set is optional?
Sorry.
In which cases result set is optional?
Result set object is created only when you are selecting the records from table. Result set object is only created whenever you are executing the select query on the database.
You mean
Remaining any when you insert,
read
update,
from
delete,
thread object.
result set object will not be created.
You mean read operation from thread.
Yes, only if you are performing read operation, then only result set object will be created. And for create, for update, and for delete, result set object will not be created. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Good.